Hello traders, how are you doing? It's Footy Trader from myfootballtrading.com and it's Friday again and another round of football in which we will be involved in. I will actually be off. I will be traveling tomorrow in the afternoon and on Sunday morning. So I will probably miss some games, definitely won't be able to trade them in play, but I thought that I would still, build the watch list and see whether, there are any opportunities. I was actually trying to do something else this week, and instead of jumping on the watch list games before the kickoff, I was thinking on trying a slightly different approach and manage those trades in play. So build the position depending on what's happening in the game, but not sure how I will manage that because I won't be able probably to watch the majority of the games during the weekend. But anyway, I will still build the watch list. This is what we're here for, and we are like this owl that you can see in my background, flying there and looking for the probabilities that are incorrect. If you are following me on Twitter X, you've noticed that I've jumped on a couple of games recently. Yesterday was a good evening, made 100 in I think 3 or 4 market entries. Roma was something that I found interesting. But anyway, it's all about the future, not about the past. So, I hope you have your pieces of paper and pens ready, and let's go and see the games. I'm really happy that the majority, at least some of you, right, are sending me messages saying that your watchlist selections are pretty much similar to mine, which is quite good. Okay, so this is my spreadsheet. We are here. Colors are ready. The games are ready. The odds are hopefully ready. So let's see if there's something crazy that the market prepared for us. So starting with the Premier League and starting with tomorrow games, Manchester United against Everton is actually the first one, and 189, 395. So 189 is fair for Manchester United, in my opinion. We have third against the fifth in terms of the categories in my world. 189 for Manchester United to win is okay. Bournemouth against Sheffield United. Here, Sheffield United number 7, so nobody expects them to cause any surprises. Bournemouth as short as 136, which I will accept. Crystal Palace against Luton. You can see a kind of similarity here. Crystal Palace and Bournemouth, for me, the same category team, but Luton better than Sheffield United. So I am expecting the higher price for Crystal Palace as they are facing a stronger opponent. And this is exactly what the market is telling me. 454 for Luton, and for Crystal Palace we have 177, which is again in line with my expectations. Wolves against Fulham. It's this one. Same category teams. Wolves at home, slightly set up as favorites by the market. 2.5 for Wolves and 2.86 for Fulham. Again, I really can't argue with that. It's completely in line with my colors, with my categories, and with what I would expect. Arsenal against Brentford. We won't find anything unusual here. Brentford as high as 12 0.52 and Arsenal 123. Yep. Nah, we won't be looking for opportunities there. Aston Villa against Tottenham again. So we have two similarly matched teams. So what do we expect? We do expect similar odds that we had in Wolves Fulham game. And this is exactly what we get, believe it or not. 2.4 for Aston Villa and 2.6 for Tottenham. 2.64 actually. I mean, okay, is it that because I'll be away that I won't find anything on the market? Let's move on and check it out. Brighton against Nottingham Forest. We have for 26 for Nottingham, Brighton being the favorites. This one is interesting, and usually so. In my world, Brighton is stronger than Crystal Palace. And if we say that Nottingham is the same as Luton, we would expect Brighton to be shorter. The thing is that Brighton is really struggling recently. If you saw their games, they are. They played 3 games recently in 3 different tournaments and they lost all 3, right? So they faced Wolves in the FA Cup. They lost 1-0. They faced Fulham away in the Premier League. They lost 3-0 and then they were demolished yesterday by Rome, in Europe League. 4-0, yeah. So terrible stuff. And I mean, Nottingham Forest is also not convincing, but you know, I won't be backing Brighton. However, having said that, I've had a look at their home games and they are pretty impressive, because if you look at Brighton's home games, they are almost undefeated. It's shocking, really. They were last defeated in September last year at home, 2-3 in Europe League. But in the league, they've lost in August. Brighton against West Ham, it was 1-3. And since then, only draws and wins. Yeah, Brighton is 6 wins, 6 draws, and only 1 defeat at home. And Nottingham away, pretty poor. Only 2 wins in 13 games. So having said that, maybe 178 presents some value. I will give it a further check. But it's something to definitely to look at. Moving on, this one is easy. West Ham against Burnley. And having said that, Jesus, 167 really for West Ham at home against Burnley? 499. Now this is something that I cannot really understand. I mean, I know that West Ham had some issues, but Burnley, you know, they are just unable to win anything. West Ham at home pretty convincingly defeated Brentford in the last game. And if you look at Burnley away games, there's not a lot to speak about there. You know, 2 wins in 13 games. 167, I don't know why. I would expect shorter odds. I mean, Burnley is kind of a team like Sheffield. I mean, Bournemouth is definitely not better than West Ham, so I'm not getting this one. I will check the starting lineups and definitely see the game closer. The big one, Liverpool against Manchester City. Yeah, and we have 2.94 and 2.28. I would expect these. I was expecting something like this: 2.5, 2.86. So pretty even odds, but Liverpool playing at home, they should have better chance to win. Liverpool undefeated at home, 11 wins in 13 games. Manchester City away, they lost 3 games this season. I wouldn't say that they will be the favorites in this game. I would not really. I think Liverpool definitely has a chance. 2.28 is a good price for me to lay if both teams, start full strength. However, if this goes up and we have like 2.5 and 2.6, then it's probably the value will be smaller. But it's a big one, and I will be definitely having a look at that closely. Chelsea and Newcastle. It's on Monday, so it seems I will watch this game. And Chelsea, not exactly the better team, but the market doesn't give chances to Newcastle away, which is interesting. But yeah, if you look at Newcastle's away games, they are struggling, really struggling. They were defeated 8 times in 13 away games, only 3 wins in 13. Chelsea at home, 5 wins in 12. They lost with Wolves 2-4. Really, it can go either way. Newcastle was able to boost their confidence recently with that. They defeated Wolves 3-0 recently, 3-0, and Chelsea lost with Wolves at home. So will be interesting to check this. There may be some in-play opportunities because I don't think we would say that Chelsea today is 2 times better almost than Newcastle. So in the end, 4 games to look at, 4 games added to the watch list. Let's move on. We are moving on to La Liga. And what do we have here? Do we have a big one? Do we have a big game in La Liga? That I don't know, but that we will check. Okay, I have the odds in front of me. We have Barcelona against Mallorca today. It's 143 for Barcelona, and this is not something that we can really argue with. But then tomorrow we have Valencia against Getafe. This one, and we have 196, 454. 2 evenly matched teams, but I understand that Valencia playing at home maybe hard to defeat. Let me see. Okay, first of all, Getafe away is terrible. Okay, they won 1 in 11, and they won 1 in 14, and I think this is the reason enough for the odds. Valencia at home, pretty convincing. No defeat in last 5, won 7 in 13. No, in these circumstances, I accept those odds. Moving on, we have Cadiz against Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid struggling a little bit recently. 174 in an away game. Probably should be shorter, but I don't know. Griezmann is off. Will probably be off. They've won with Betis 2-1 recently. Morata scored the goal. Cadiz stopped Bilbao at home, and they stopped Real Sociedad at home. So I'll be I'll be staying away from that one. Especially if there's no Griezmann for Atletico Madrid. Granada Real Sociedad is here. We have 441 and 1.9 for Real Sociedad. Yeah, it's number 3 against number 7. Here we had number 2 against number 6. Yeah, it's okay. Probably can accept that. Girona against Osasuna. Here the market is favoring Girona 1.61 to 2.4. And I've moved Girona to category 3. They are probably like category 2.5. Not gonna argue with 1.6. I'm not gonna lay Girona in this game. Alaves against Rayo Vallecano. Here in Spain, in this one we can see that the market is favoring the home team. 2.17 for Alaves, 3.76 for Vallecano. It's okay. I'm just checking, Alaves 13 in the table, Vallecano 16, Alaves 29 points, Vallecano 26 points. Pretty evenly matched, like 3 points difference. Alaves playing at home. This is where the advantage is coming from. Not greatly performing teams, category 5. I think it's best to stay away out of that one. Real Madrid is against Celta is 1.3, and I won't be going against them. Betis against Villarreal. This one, can we compare it to anything? So Betis should be lower than 2.17, and they are but 2.08, 3.47 Villarreal. Shouldn't Betis be a bit lower? So Villarreal at away is doing pretty good, actually. 7th in the table if you look at their away games. Betis at home 6th. So yeah, I think we can accept it, especially that Villarreal is having a relatively good form now. They are undefeated in La Liga for quite a while. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games undefeated. They lost yesterday to Marseille 4-0, but there was a red card as well. So I think Betis 208 in these circumstances, with Villarreal not losing in La Liga, is fine. Almeria against Sevilla. Now here it's funny, right? Because yeah, I mean, we had Granada, which is almost like Almeria. We had Real Sociedad at 1.9. Sevilla should be higher. They are 2.38. Almeria is 3.05. Yeah, and do we want to get involved? Sevilla away, 2 wins in 13 games. Yeah, Almeria at home, they didn't win anything. So the draw is I think the best they can get. Yeah, but okay, so Sevilla to win or draw would be around 1.5. So yeah, I don't know. Let me just check some recent games from Sevilla. They've won with Real Sociedad in that last game 3-2. That was pretty convincing, but that was actually away. Sorry, that was at home. Away, they lost 1-0 to Real Madrid. They stopped Valencia 0-0, and they won with Vallecano 1-2. And Almeria is just drawing games. Drew with Bilbao, drew with Atletico Madrid. They can draw with Sevilla. They can stop Sevilla, and I won't be going for a draw in this game. So that's a no. What else do we have? Las Palmas against Athletic Bilbao, 399 and 201, which I think is okay. And it seems that we won't have anything from La Liga to add to the watch list, really. Osasuna Alaves, this game was played on the 4th of March. I will just add the odds here to my spreadsheet. It was 2.44 for Osasuna and 3.65 for Alaves. It was not on the watch list. Yeah, so nothing very strong here. I mean, you can argue that Sevilla has value at 2.38 against Almeria, but you know it can very well be a draw. Betis against Villarreal is pretty fine. You can also look at this one, Athletic Bilbao 201 with Las Palmas. Yeah, I think this is also pretty much correct. Athletic Bilbao lost 3-1 with Betis. You know, Athletic Bilbao are machines at home, but if you look at their away games, they're not that good. They didn't win an away league game in last 4, so yeah, it's I think correct. Right, moving on. Serie A in Italy. A lot of red here. So let's see what we have and let's see the odds. Okay, starting with Napoli against Torino, which is today, and the odds are pretty correct. 176. Napoli with Victor Osimhen looking better, a lot better. So it's fine. They are number 3. Torino number 5. Yeah, 176 is okay. Cagliari is better than Salernitana, and this is what the market is telling us. 186, 431. Yeah. I agree. Sassuolo and Frosinone, two in general evenly matched teams. Sassuolo at home, so 2.26, 306 for Frosinone. Nothing there. Bologna against Inter, again pretty good. Bologna number 3, but Inter number 1, 361. Inter playing away, 2.13. Makes sense. Genoa better than Monza. I wouldn't really say so. This is what the market is saying. 2.17, 376 for Monza. Let's have a very quick look. So Monza 11th in the table, Genoa 12th. Pretty much even. Genoa at home 12th. 5 wins, 5 draws, 3 losses. Monza away, 4-4-5. All right, think I can accept that. Genoa at home, yeah. Those teams are really pretty even. Genoa at home 2.17. Maybe you can argue that the odds should be around 2.4, and for Monza should be a little bit lower. But it's not something that I will be involved in. Lecce against Verona, same story. So let's do a comparison. Same story as Sassuolo Frosinone, and believe it or not, same odds. 2.26 for Lecce. And for Verona, 3.48. 48, yeah, but it's just in line with my expectations. What can I do? Milan against Empoli. It's this one, of course. Strong favorites. Milan 144 at home against Empoli 7.2 is correct. Juventus against Atalanta. Yeah, it's again correct. 2.28 and 3.32. Juventus at home, definitely better than Atalanta. So that's also a no. Lazio against Udinese. So here we can't have 2.26. We have 191 against Udinese 4.3. I don't know. Maybe it should be a little bit lower. Interesting stuff. I'm checking whether we can compare it with anything, but we can't really. We really can't. I don't see a red team facing a green team. We can do historically. Did we have a green team facing red? 1.5, but it was Fiorentina against Frosinone. Okay, so let me check very quickly Udinese. Udinese 15th in the table and 15 draws. No other team in Serie A has that many draws. If you look at their away games, only 2 wins in 13 games. Lazio at home, not that good, actually. They lost with Bologna 1-2, lost with Milan 1-0, drew with Napoli. Yeah, so they faced some strong teams recently. When they last faced Udinese, if you wonder what the result was, Lazio won 2-1 away, yeah. Udinese drew with Salernitana, lost with Genoa, drew with Cagliari, won with Juventus somehow. I will leave it as it is. However, this one, Fiorentina against Rome, I don't know. I think Roma, I backed Roma yesterday, 2.77. I think there is something wrong here, I believe. But on the same at the same point, Fiorentina I think is pretty good at home, but Roma is marvelous recently. Yeah, Fiorentina at home, 8 wins, 2 draws, 3 defeats, 7th in the table if you look at the home games. Rome away, 6th in the table, but 3 wins in a row. I mean, Roma is in general in a 5 wins in a row streak. I mean, they in Europe League they drew 1-1 after 90 minutes with Feyenoord. They defeated Torino, they defeated Monza, they defeated Brighton, and pretty convincingly. Monza they defeated away 4-1. Yesterday they defeated Brighton 4-0, and Fiorentina was facing Maccabi Haifa from Israel, yeah, and they won 4-3 in the last minute goal. Yeah, Fiorentina is pretty good at home. Roma is now pretty good as well. Maybe in the end these are the correct odds, but I still think that 2.77, if we have Rome with Lukaku, with Dybala, with El Shaarawy, this is a good price. I will wait for the starting lineups and then we'll decide, but we'll add this one to the watch list. And having said that, we're moving to Germany. And in Germany, we have a couple of games. We have one today, Stuttgart against Union Berlin. Again, a strong favorite, 148 for Stuttgart and 664 for Union Berlin. Yeah, fine. Augsburg, Heidenheim, 187, 395. Probably Augsburg should be a little bit higher than Heidenheim, but I don't think I'm gonna lay them. Yeah, but Having said that, I will maybe just quickly check their, how they are doing. Augsburg at home, 12th in the table, and Heidenheim away, 10th in the table, but 2 wins only. A lot of draws. Augsburg defeated Freiburg recently. Augsburg is in a 2 wins streak, defeated Darmstadt 6-0 and Freiburg 2-1. Heidenheim is on the other hand struggling, but scoring goals. Okay, it's a no, but if Augsburg takes the lead, really, it will be a cheap play for Heidenheim to get back into the game. So this is something that, I may look for in this one. Mönchengladbach against Köln, of course, they are the favorites, 185 and 4.17. Bayern against Mainz, 11.35. No, Bayern, I don't think they will surprise anyone against Mainz. Leipzig against Darmstadt, 1.15 and 17.61. And then Werder Bremen against Dortmund, 3.8 and 1.87. Third against fifth. Yeah, if it was third against fourth, then this should be probably higher. But third against fifth makes sense. Okay, moving on to Sunday, and we have Bochum against Freiburg. Now this we won't accept, 2.26 and 309. Bochum. Okay, if you look at Bochum games, they are 10th in the table. I accept they are pretty good at home. Even though they were facing Leipzig, they lost 4-1 in the last game. Freiburg is terrible away. I forgot about it. So maybe if you take all of that into account, these odds make sense. Frankfurt against Hoffenheim, expecting Frankfurt to be around 2, and they are 205, 334. And Leverkusen against Wolfsburg is 133, 897. So Bochum Freiburg actually is a no. And I think that's it. So there's nothing in Bundesliga. Only one game to check in Serie A. There is nothing in Serie A, so not a big watch list really. And it's good because as I was saying, I will be off for the majority of the weekend. Only some Premier League games to look at. Let's quickly check Liga and then we're good for today. Nice against Montpellier. I now have Nice in category number 3 as they are really struggling recently, but they are 175 to beat at home Montpellier against 4.7. Lorient against Lyon. Lyon number 3, Lorient number 4. It's okay. 2.23 for Lyon. Lens. Now this one is interesting because Brest I have as number 2, Lens number 3, and here Lens 208. This is not something that I like really. 208 for Lens. Why is that? Alright, Lens at home, 7th in the table, and 2 defeats in last 3. They were defeated by Paris Saint-Germain and Monaco. Brest away, no defeats in last 5. That's a yes. Lens are not that strong of favorites unless there are some team news that I'm missing, but this is something that I will check later. Paris Saint-Germain, of course, the favorites 1.4 against Stade de Reims, 7.16. Then we have Le Havre and Toulouse. Yeah, evenly matched teams, and we have the same odds. Yeah, okay, nothing crazy here. Yeah, I know Le Havre is playing at home, but you know, it's Liga. I really don't want to. I really want to select only some very strong selections. FC Metz should be favorites against Clermont at home, and they are 2.27, 3.29. Lille, no, actually we have Strasbourg against Monaco, and here we have 3.51, and Monaco 201, 50% almost chance of defeating Strasbourg at home. Which is funny because Nice was 2.29. Yeah, Monaco is 201. Kind of makes sense. Yeah. Lille, getting back to this one. Yeah, Lille are the favorites. 207, 359. Again, you can see the blue team is 207 against this orange team, yeah, and here the blue is these odds are flipped at least to some extent. This is why this I have on my watch list. Okay, so taking this one, and this is Olympique Marseille against Nantes. Will it be 1.75? Even better, 1.49, but I was saying that Nice are struggling recently. 149.675. Yeah. Right. Yeah, we can compare to this one. 143, 149 makes sense. Nice is 175 because they are struggling. This is all, you know, kind of convinces me. But this one is not. So Lens against Stade de Brest, I will add to the watch list. And with that, that's everything. That's my review. I will, of course, be, if I get a chance, again, if I get a chance, I will be looking for some Goal Watch or Homer HT opportunities to jump into, and some other in-play opportunities if there are any. With that, wishing you guys a great weekend. Yeah, and happy trading, and you know, I hope it will be a green weekend for all of us. Yeah, with that, it's everything from me. So until the next time, thank you for being here, and bye bye.